Hey everybody, it's Kevin back again with another Top Producer Spotlight, and today I am honored to have a friend, a customer, an amazing guy, marathon runner, doer of VA loans. The guy's just an amazing guy from a boat builder to the loan industry. He's got a great story, and I'm so glad he could be here with us today. Mr. David Rodriquez. David, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, doing great, doing great.
So David, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about, like, how did you get into the mortgage industry? What led you there?
So I got into the mortgage industry back in 2004. So I've been doing this over 15 years. Before that, I built boats for 15 years with Sea Ray, Wellcraft, Regal boats. Just started out hard work. Imported wine for a little bit, and then for a couple of years, and then in 2004, got an opportunity to get into mortgages.
Yeah, I was going to say that building boats and importing wine transitions right into mortgage. How did that happen? That's pretty unique. Your story's impressive to me. So,
just changing gears, it was time to make a change, and I got an opportunity for sales. A friend of mine owned the Port Canaveral duty-free warehouse for Port Canaveral, and I was a ship chandler for a while, and then taught me about fine wine, and I helped them start a company, introducing the brand all over the state of Florida.
And now you're in Colorado. So you transitioned out there, transitioned out to Colorado. You're in Colorado Springs with Caliber Home Loans, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And so tell me about your business. How's 2020 shaping up for you?
2020 is going great. Since January of this year, I have been working probably 12 to 16-hour days. Just lots of business. Probably 60% of my business is purchase. And then the icing on the cake is doing a refinance. But I've been just busy as can be. And it's been a great market. We have a lot of military here, a lot of defense contractors here. I moved here in 2011 from Merritt Island, Cocoa Beach area, Kennedy Space Center. My dad worked from '62, the Apollo program, into the shuttle days. So I grew up as a space kid on Merritt Island, watching the rockets go up.
Nice. So obviously I see, you're a marathon runner, so that, obviously the hard work isn't much of a challenge for you there. I mean, that's just part of what you're doing. So what's contributing to your growth in 2020? It's really on the uptick for you. You were talking about this earlier. You've done a couple things this year. Please share with the audience what you're doing.
The two things I really did was, this was the first year I actually got a coach, January this year. Southwestern Consulting is doing my coaching, and with the focus and targeting on deepening my relationships with my partners, my realtors and builders I work with, and then I started utilizing your program for a good CRM for Whiteboard, and that's really helped me to reconnect with a lot of my book of business, because I do mortgages here in Colorado and Florida also. So just the two states. When I was younger, I did all 50 states because I was with the big boys. I was with Legacy, Bank of America before they bought Countrywide Merrill. So I've done all 50 states, but anymore I just focus on Colorado and Florida.
So, we talked to a lot of folks about, the importance of a coach. And so you've seen the direct results of that this year. And I can't encourage my customers enough out there that are listening. Please go ahead and invest in a coach. But one of the things we were talking about a little bit earlier is like how much you really love interacting with and helping people. Can you share a little bit more about your story? Like, what keeps you in the mortgage industry today?
So, one of the things, I focus on others first mindset. So how can I add value to other people's lives? Part of my story was I'm coming up on, 17 years of recovery. I put down the drink September 11, 2003. So, previous, just before doing mortgages, I sold wine for a living. And so mortgage has been a great opportunity to be able to help people with home ownership, Anymore, I work with do a lot of VA. I do a lot of first-time home buyers, down payment assistance programs, just starting with a game plan on how to get somebody into a home where they truly understand the process and are comfortable. And then I coach with a lot of realtors too on helping with adding value for a strategy, whether it's customer meetings and seller concessions or so many different ways of, I've worked on it almost every single purchase scenario you can possibly imagine. So, it's been great, working on communicating. Your program's been grateful to help me with communicating with my customers and just deepening my relationships with my customers.
How so? You mind explaining that?
So just staying in contact with them, and then just before, like, I get them truly pre-approved ahead of time, where I have income, assets, everything up front, ready to go. And so just before, when they do find a property, I'm able to submit a contract and jump on it right away. So it's just really helped with communicating. And then, so once it comes out of initial underwriting, I have an automated tickler that goes out to them through text and email to let them know, hey, you're conditionally approved. And then I've got a team, I've got an assistant, and I've got my loan processor, Sandy and Christine. They've helped me tremendously, where Christine will reach out and give a welcome call and say, hey, okay, we got you out of underwriting, and here's the additional items that we need from you. Let's get a jump on this so we get you lined up for final approval. So when your appraisal comes in, we jump right on that. So, let them know ahead of time what to expect. And then as we're going through each step, I'm able to communicate a little bit more and utilizing your CRM as a tool. I took probably 2 years before I chose a CRM because I wanted one that was just simple. Didn't want to be an operator, but that's helped out tremendously. And then my coaching has helped me with focusing on the specifics of my customers to help them with their needs and just be selective of who I want to do business with realtors and builders and some financial advisors, and just building deep relationships with people where it's fun. That's it becomes fun,
Yeah, it's one of those things. Not all business is good business, and I think that we've seen it so many times, and whether it's every industry, is that business can really be a drain. It's not worth it. So I think that's an important thing that the folks can understand, is that chase that good business. Now, you utilize Whiteboard, and we thank you so much for being a customer. What other tools do you use? Where do you get your industry knowledge? How are you continuing to grow outside of maybe your coach to help you keep up on the mortgage industry?
I follow part of MBS Highway, Barry Habib. So on the specifics of what's going on with the market, I've really gotten a lot out of Barry's info because he's been spot on with stuff. So I've utilized that. Myself, I've followed Todd Duncan for years. I listen to podcasts every morning. Usually start my day here 5 in the morning. I'm probably one of the few here. But it's a good jump to the day of, what's next. Just helping build a team and helping my customers. And I get a lot to, with Duncan, I've gotten a lot out of the law of the encore.
Mm-hmm.
So basically just totally exceeding my customers' expectations and my partners' expectations way beyond what they could possibly imagine. So I don't rely on leads. It's all organically grown, my business, from past customers talking me up, or like I've got whole family of educators where I've done loans for mom, dad, grandparents, both the kids when they went off to college. I did kiddie condos for them. And then they refinanced out and got grandparents off. And then it's going on to a different generation, which is great when you truly are able to add value that way.
That is pretty cool. You said that Whiteboard's actually helped you get back in contact with some of your old customers. Can you share how?
It has, because I had somewhere I hadn't talked to a customer in probably 10 years in Florida, and just from the system where I have my database in there, and I can have where basically what rates are, do an auto trickle on just an intro text, an intro email, and then out of the blue, and I'll do a phone call and I'm calling them, but I may not connect with them, but I find that I'm definitely able to, retain old customers a lot just from the additional help that the system's doing in the back.
Yeah, and I can imagine that calls sometimes miss their mark, right? I mean, you're calling from a 719 or a 303 to a 321 area code. They're probably, who's this calling? But those texts, they seem to land. I mean, it really does. And it is Gary Vaynerchuk said it's the best form of marketing you can do these days. And I know that to get that data into the system of Whiteboard, getting data into any system isn't easy. You had to do a lot of work to get that in there accurately, correct?
It was pretty easy because a lot of loan origination systems, from your customers, it's drag and drop, so it was super simple.
Well, I like to hear that. I know that data can be difficult at times, and I know that you put a lot of effort into making your Whiteboard work. And it's one of the reasons why we're here today is because you invested in the tool, not only beyond the purchase. A lot of people they'll invest in a tool with a purchase alone, but it does take some time and some work. And so you've done a great job with that. One question I want to ask before we wrap up here is if you had Barry here or Todd Duncan or any industry expert, what's a question you would ask them about the industry and what we can look forward to the back half of 2020 and 21? What would you ask them?
Basically just the need for personal interaction. So much has gone automated, and automated is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it where a lot of my customers can fill out my loan app online, but I would just be curious to where, and I've gotten kind of feedback already from hearing from Todd Duncan that basically we're always going to need that, the personal interaction, of beyond just a rate and fees.
Yeah.
What's next, the guide, the tour guide, to make it smooth for you. And that's what I try to be, a smooth tour guide.
Yeah, I think, we're obviously all seeing the conference season is upon us, and they're going by the wayside. Every day another one's canceling, and obviously we understand the reasons why behind that. And I had some conversations with some other clients of mine about, are we looking toward a day where all these conferences are virtual? And I don't see that ever happening, because I do see the need for personal interaction. And it's the same reason why, I talk to people on my Facebook page and my social media pages, even though I'm not directly in mortgage, about the need to have that mortgage advisor, that mortgage consultant to walk you through what can happen. I've shared the story a bunch of times about my refinance that I went through on my house earlier this year. Is I was so unaware of the power that I had in the equity in my home that it's given me the opportunity to go buy an investment property, and I'm going to buy another one. And I used my home to do that. I'm not out of pocket any money. I'm not out anything. But I was completely unaware, and I'm in the industry. Is the point I'm getting at is that our customers, your customers, are always going to need you, right? There's only so much automation. There's only so much you can do from a computer. You're going to need that human touch to be able to talk to people and what their real long-term goals are, what they're trying to accomplish. And Sam Bursch is my guy. He's the guy who walked me through it. I love Sam forever because he helped me, and I've referred him business, and that's the differentiator. Push button, get mortgage is only going to work for so long for so many people. Yeah, it's just, you know, we're gonna the personal touch is gonna need to be there. It's I don't think it's ever gonna go away. So.
Well, and there's a lot of times where, like the majority of times, uh, I'm reaching out to the listing agent. So I have my customer fully approved, income and assets reviewed. So I'm reaching out to the listing agent directly and selling the strength of my customer to help them get that deal. So, you know, that's one thing that the seasoned veterans in this industry, what we bring to the table to be able to reach out for our customers and try and help them get that dream home.
Well, God bless you for that, David. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much. Thanks for being a wonderful Whiteboard customer, and I look forward to talking to you in the future, sir. It's been wonderful to get this time with you. Any parting thoughts or anything before we go?
No, I just, thanks for the opportunity talking to you, Kevin.
I appreciate it, David. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.